We just finished our last show of the season. 3 women wrestling in a county fair circuit nobody remembered. When we saw the arena lights flicker, though the place was dead for years, I thought it was a raccoon. But then came a sound that didn't belong in all that rust and dust. A child crying, soft, steady, like she'd been waiting. And what she whispered when we found her froze us to the bone. Before I continue, make sure you're subscribed and tell me where you're watching this story from. Because what happened that night still haunts the ring, and maybe it'll haunt you too. The night air over Maple Creek, Louisiana felt heavy, like the town had been holding its breath since the last rodeo left. We, Raven Cole, Lexi Steele, and Coach Dana Rivers had wrestled 200 miles of cracked highway that week, chasing what was left of our dreams and gas money. The fairground sat behind the old grain mill, a sagging skeleton of corrugated tin and busted bleachers. Dana killed the truck engine. "We stay 10 minutes. I just need to grab the old gear we stored last season," she said. Her knees popped when she climbed out. Wrestling left its mark on all of us. The arena doors groaned open with that long, aching moan metal makes when it remembers better days. Dust swirled in the beam of Lexi's phone light. Faded posters still clung to the walls. Ladies of the Ring, one night only. Our faces younger, prouder, untouched by loss. Then came the sound at first, just a whimper echoing through empty seats. Raven froze. "You hear that?" Lexi tilted her head. "Could be a cat." "No cat cries like that," Dana said quietly. The coach's voice had that low warning tone she used when things were about to turn. They followed the sound past the ring ropes, still sagging under decades of sweat, and toward the back bleachers. There, under a torn banner that read, "Freedom County Championships 2008, sat a little black girl, maybe 10, barefoot, knees drawn to her chest. Her braids were frayed. Her t-shirt was 2 sizes too big. She wasn't crying anymore, just staring. In her hands was a silver locket, shining like it didn't belong in this ruin. Dana knelt first, soft as she could. "Sweetheart, are you hurt?" The girl blinked once, then whispered, barely a breath, "My mama said you'd save me." Lexi's phone light trembled. "What's your name, baby?" "Amina." Raven crouched beside her. The name rolled through her chest like thunder she'd heard before. "You hungry, Amina?" She nodded, clutching the locket tighter. Lexi rummaged through her bag and found a protein bar, torn at one end. Amina took it carefully, eyes never leaving Raven's. Dana's gaze swept the shadows. "This place gives me chills. Let's get her to the truck." But Raven couldn't stop staring at that locket. The design carved into it, a pair of wings wrapped around a small star, sent a shiver straight down her spine. She'd seen that emblem before. It had been stitched on the jacket of her sister, Serena Cole, the night Serena disappeared after their championship bout 3 years ago. "Where did you get this, honey?" Raven asked, her voice cracking on the last word. Amina looked down, fingers brushing the metal. "It was Mama's," she said. "When I find the woman with eyes like storm clouds, I'd be safe." Lexi glanced at Raven. Storm cloud eyes. She meant you. Raven swallowed hard. "Amina, where's your mama now?" The girl's lips trembled. "Fire came. Mama said to run." She pointed toward the far wall where soot still scarred the paint. "She said I'd find you here." For a heartbeat, no one moved. The only sound was the wind rattling through the rafters like ghost applause. Dana finally said, "All right, girls, this isn't just stray kid business. We call the sheriff." But outside, tires crunched gravel. Headlights slid across the broken glass windows. 3, 4 vehicles, idling too quiet. Lexi's jaw tightened. "Sheriff drives an old Ford, not black SUVs," Raven grabbed Amina's hand. "Move! Now!" They slipped out the side door into the dry night. The trucks outside hummed low, windows tinted. Someone stepped out. Tall, suited, out of place in a town that sold fried dough and second chances, Dana whispered. "We're not calling anyone tonight." They ducked behind the truck, hearts pounding. Amina's little hand trembled in Raven's. That's when the girl whispered again, so soft only Raven heard. "He's here. The man Mama warned me about." Raven looked up, and under the moonlight, she saw the glint of a badge that wasn't law at all, and a face she hadn't seen since the night her sister vanished. The night outside the arena was too quiet, like even the crickets didn't want to get caught in whatever was coming. They hid behind Coach Dana's rusted pickup. The smell of oil and dust, thick enough to choke on the black SUVs, sat parked across the fairground, engines purring low, headlights off, just waiting. Raven peered over the truck bed. 2 men stepped out, polished shoes, pressed suits, too clean for this forgotten town. One of them held a tablet, glowing blue against the night. The other had that restless twitch in his jaw, like a man used to giving orders nobody questioned. Lexi muttered, "Corporate muscle. What the hell are they doing out here?" "Not looking for popcorn," Dana whispered back. Amina pressed closer to Raven's side. The little girl's breathing quickened, her eyes wide and wet. Raven wrapped an arm around her. "It's okay, sweetheart. We'll keep you safe." Amina's whisper shook. "That's him. Mama said he finds people who run." Raven looked again. The taller man lifted his head, scanning the shadows like he could smell fear. A half-second flash of his face under the security light froze her cold. Logan Hale. Once a big name in their world, the slick promoter who ran the Gulf Coast Wrestling League, he'd vanished after Serena died, and rumor said he'd taken his empire underground, fighting rings, debt rackets, deals darker than the mats they wrestled on. Raven's voice dropped. "We can't stay here. That man's dangerous." Dana nodded toward the truck. "Keys are in." They slipped inside. Dana turned the ignition, but before the engine could catch, a spotlight burst across the lot. Tires screamed. "Go!" Raven shouted. The pickup roared to life. Gravel spit as they tore through the fairground fence. SUVs followed, black shapes slicing the road like knives. Headlights flared. Engines thundered. Amina ducked low, arms over her head. Raven pulled her close. "Hold on tight, baby." Lexi checked the mirror. 3 on us, 1 gaining fast. "Back road," Dana barked, swinging hard onto a dirt lane that led through the fields behind town. Dust exploded around them, the truck bucking over potholes. Raven's chest burned with old memories, her sister's laughter, the night she left for a special match and never came back. Lexi gritted her teeth. "This ain't random, Rave. Why's that girl tied to him? And what's with that necklace?" Raven glanced down. The locket glimmered against Amina's chest, wings spread, star at the center. Something about it pulsed faintly under the dashboard light. She reached for it. "Amina, can I see that again?" The girl hesitated, then unhooked it and placed it in Raven's palm. It was heavier than it looked. When she turned it over, she noticed a tiny seam along the hinge, almost invisible. Raven pried it open with her thumbnail. Inside, instead of photos, was a thin metallic disc. Not jewelry, tech. Dana cursed under her breath. "That ain't no keepsake. That's a tracker or worse." Raven squinted. Etched on the disc was a small logo. Hale Industries. Her stomach dropped. "That's him," Raven whispered. "Serena was wearing this symbol the night she died." Amina looked up, eyes glistening. "Mama said the locket was the key, that I should find you because you'd know what to do." Lexi slowed her breath. "You're telling me your mama sent you to Raven? Why her?" She said the woman with eyes like thunder would finish what she couldn't. The truck jolted over a ridge. Dana gripped the wheel. We're clear of the town. We'll pull into Miller's Creek, abandoned cabins. No one will look there. Raven couldn't speak. Her fingers trembled around the locket. Her sister's blood still haunted her dreams. And now this child was sitting here, carrying the same emblem that had marked Serena's death. Your mama, Raven said softly. What was her name? Amina's voice wavered. Nia. Nia Hale. The truck fell silent. Lexi blinked. Hale, as in his wife, Raven finished. Donna exhaled hard. Lord Almighty. Raven's thoughts spun. Nia Hale. The woman who vanished the same week Serena died. Everyone thought she'd burned in a warehouse fire. Now her daughter was here, holding proof that neither that fire nor Serena's death had been accidents. Dana parked beneath the shadow of an old water tower. We hide out here. Figure our next move. Raven stared at the girl, then the locket again. If Logan Hale wanted Amina, it wasn't out of love. It was because that piece of metal held something that could destroy him. She turned to Dana. He's tracking her. We need to kill the signal. Dana nodded. Give me that thing. She set it on the truck bed, smashed it with a wrench. Sparks spat out, and a small puff of smoke rose into the night air. Done, Dana said, but Amina's eyes widened. No. Mama said if it breaks, they'll come faster. What? Lexi gasped. A low rumble answered her. Engines. Closer now. Louder. From the road they thought they'd escaped headlights cutting through the trees. Raven's pulse spiked. She's right. Dana's hand went to the gear shift. Hold tight. The first SUV broke through the brush, grill shining like a predator's grin. Raven grabbed Amina's hand again, heart pounding. Sweetheart, she whispered. Whatever's in that locket, whatever your mama was hiding, it's why they killed my sister. The girl's small voice trembled through the roar of engines. Mama said it's not just a secret, it's a map, and only you can read it. The road beyond Maple Creek cut through open fields, black as ink stitched with moonlight. Dust trailed behind the truck like ghosts. Donna drove steady, eyes fixed ahead. Lexi leaned out the window, scanning the dark. 2 SUVs, maybe 3. They're keeping distance but not losing us. Raven's knuckles whitened. They know where we're going. Amina hugged her knees. They'll find us anywhere. Not tonight, Raven said. They turned toward Bay Hollow, where porches leaned and dogs barked at passing trains. Raven watched the cotton fields blur and thought of Serena, the sister who'd vanished after a match sponsored by Logan Hale. That night, Serena had called her through static. If anything happens to me, it's not the ring. It's what's under it. Now a child with her sister's eyes and her sister's locket sat between them. Dana's headlights caught a peeling sign, Old Magnolia Motel, vacancy. Perfect, she muttered. Inside, the lobby smelled of dust and stale coffee. 2 rooms, cash only. The clerk never looked up. Behind a locked door, Amina sat on the bed. Raven knelt beside her. You did good tonight. Amina whispered. Mama said brave don't mean safe. Raven opened the girl's worn backpack. Inside lay a folded map. Hand-drawn roads, a red X, and the words, when you find the one she saved, the circle ends. This handwriting. Coordinates, maybe, Lexi said. Amina's voice cracked. Mama said Serena tried to help us. She tried to take her phone to the sheriff. Daddy caught them first. The room went still and whispered. She died that night. Amina's reply was soft. Mama said she didn't die for nothing. Outside, car doors slammed. 2 shadows crossed the lot. They found us already, Lexi hissed. They fled through the back door into the woods. Branches scraped their arms. Headlights swept the trees. They ducked into a drainage tunnel under the road. Cold water soaked their shoes. Raven spread the map on her knee. These coordinates lead south, old fairground by the river. That's 50 miles, Dana said. Lexi looked at Amina. What are they chasing? The girl hugged herself. Mama said Daddy put his secrets in me. I'm the last key. Raven's voice shook. What secrets? He said when the stars touch the sea, everyone will see what he did. Dana listened to distant engines. Then we've got until sunrise. Raven squeezed the child's shoulder. I'm not losing another sister. By dawn, they reached a cabin off Highway 17, hidden among pines. Coffee boiled on a small burner, while rain dripped through the eaves. Amina told them everything. Her father's company, the experiments, the night of fire. Mama wanted to stop him, she said. She hid me. Serena helped. Raven unfolded the map again. Faint numbers along the edge revealed coordinates. It's not just a map, it's proof. Proof of what? Dana asked. Where he buried his sins. Amina handed her a glass vial. Mama gave me this. Said break it if he ever touched me again. Dana turned it in her hand. Sleeping gas. Raven kissed the girl's forehead. You have her courage. Outside, something snapped in the woods. Silence. Then a crow took flight. We move now, Raven said. They followed the dirt road south until the skyline opened on the river valley. Thunder rolled. The fairground waited ahead, half collapsed and sun-baked. Mama said it ends where it started, Amina murmured. Raven parked by the ticket booth. Then this is it. Inside the arena, dust hung in beams of dying sunlight. The wrestling ring was gone, but its posts still stood like gravestones. In the center, half buried in soot, lay a hatch stamped Hale Industries. Archive access. This is where she died, Raven whispered. Amina joined the locket's halves and pressed them to the hatch. A click echoed. The door unlocked. They climbed down into the dark. Filing cabinets lined the concrete walls. Accounts, transfers, matches. Raven opened one marked with her sister's name. Inside, photos, ledgers, a hard drive, evidence, footsteps above. He's here, Amina breathed. The hatch opened. Logan Hale descended with armed men. His smile was thin. Serena's little sister. You always did dig too deep. Raven stepped forward. You burned them alive, he shrugged. Collateral damage. Dana raised her gun. Empire's over. He gestured. His guards leveled rifles. Raven whispered, Amina the vial. The girl threw it to the floor. Glass shattered. Silver mist filled the tunnel. The guards coughed, dropped their weapons. Hale stumbled. What did you... Raven slammed him against the wall. You took everything. She held up the hard drive. Now everyone will know. Serena thought the same. He spat. Raven met his eyes. Serena won. She ran. Dana pulled them up the ladder. The tunnel erupted below them, fire chasing its maker. They hit the ground outside as the arena exploded, a tower of flame lighting the river. Raven shielded Amina. Debris rained around them. He's gone, the girl cried. He's gone, Raven said. Sirens wailed in the distance. The circle had closed. Morning found them by the truck, smoke drifting behind the fairground ruins. Raven watched the sunrise paint the sky in gold and pink, the same color Serena once called victory light. They buried Serena and Nia together in a small churchyard. Dana and Lexi stood beside her, silent. A bronze locket rested on the grave, engraved with one word: free. Amina traced the letters. Mama would have liked that. Raven smiled. So would my sister. Weeks later, the news called it an accidental chemical fire. Reporters received anonymous files exposing Logan Hale's crimes. His empire turned to ash. In Maple Creek, Dana reopened a gym. Lexi coached. Raven taught self-defense to local girls. Amina sat in the front row every day, the bronze locket shining on her chest. When Raven invited her into the ring for the first time, the girl grinned. Mama said courage runs in blood. Raven smiled back. Then I guess we're family. The crowd of children clapped as Amina landed her first clean throw. Laughter filled the space where ghosts once lived. Raven looked up at the broken skylight, sunlight pouring through dust like glittering ash, and whispered, "Serena, we did it." Sometimes, the people who save you aren't the ones you're born to, but the ones who find you in the dark. And when they do, hold them close. Because family isn't blood. It's the ones who stay when the world burns around you. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me where you're watching from. Because somewhere out there, another story like this is waiting to be told. And you might be the one who helps it find its way home.